In this video, we'll talk about how you can use the tag action element within your workflows. And so tags are used to simply be able to, as it sounds, tag particular contacts or group of contacts based on some action they may or may not take or some characteristic that you want to be able to identify and segment based upon. And so the properties for this action element are quite simple. You can basically use it to assign a tag or remove a tag. And so when you're assigning a tag, you'll be able to choose from tags you've already created or create a tag here, new as well. And so the thing to keep in mind when you're creating the tag name is that it needs to be lowercase characters and also no spaces. And so if it's going to be 2 words, just make sure you put, for example, an underscore beneath it. So let's say we're going to call this inactive contact as an example. And let's say, this would be something I apply if someone doesn't open my welcome message. So let's just take, for example, that a quick, workflow example so you can see it in action. Let's say someone subscribes to my list and they get sent a welcome message. So this is kind of a very simple workflow we can specify. Let's just specify the list a bit. Let's say they signed up for this list. Then let's say they get my welcome message. And then I want to see if they opened that welcome message. So we can use the message opened condition. And we can specify. And if they did not open this message, I want to apply inactive contact, let's say, because it's a welcome message. It's usually opened by most people who sign up. And so if they don't, I want to, be able to assign them as a tag so that I can see that they are inactive. And so, for example, I could go through and, search for these contacts in my search contacts at some point, and then I'd be able to know who hasn't opened my welcome message. But then I could also, continue it further. Maybe I could wait for a couple of days and then, let's say, try again and send maybe some type of reminder only to those who have that particular tag of inactive contacts. So this is just a quick example to show you how I could be using tags. And so let's say it's like, let's see if I've got a good example. Let's just say it's a reminder. Just pretend this is a kind of a check-in reminder. And then yet again, did they open this message? And if they did open this particular message, then we could use that tag action element again, if they did, and remove the tag of, what do we call it? It was inactive contact. We could remove it and we could apply another tag right after that if we wanted, for example, active contact, or we can just leave it. But this is just an example, a quick example of how you could be assigning contacts tags and also removing the tags as well. And so this is just so you can identify, see how your strategy's working out, make adjustments, and be able to search out for particular contacts who have tags. And also tags are a very common way to be able to start workflows. So for example, if let's pretend we're in a different workflow. Let's say the workflow starts with if tag is inactive contact, send a different message. Don't make it a part of this workflow necessarily. Maybe you want to do something else based on the tag that's applied in another workflow. So that is something to keep in mind. It's really handy to apply tags with the actions and then create workflows using the tag condition, but you just need to remember and keep track of, for example, maybe in kind of a spreadsheet somewhere where you have an inventory of all the tags that you're using and the workflows that you're using them in, so you don't start having tags stack on top of each other and apply in multiple different workflows because you've forgotten. So that's the main thing to remember when you're applying tags, is try and create an inventory for yourself of what tags you're using, when and where you're using them, and then if you're using them to actually start other workflows, so you can keep track and make sure you don't accidentally create a bit of a mess with your tags. But in general, tags are super simple to use and very helpful for your segmentation and strategies.